Nev Infinity Show.
That's right. So right now, this is Jedi Academy, and it is the Nev Infinity show
It
right
is the Nev Infinity Show.
now.
All
Nev
eyes
Infinity.
on me and him.
That's right. Right up there, right down here. That's the way we roll. So welcome to Jedi Academy with myself, Finity from Reality Skewed Gamers, and that is Nev from the Escape Podcast. Sorry, Escape Podcast.
Cast.
There we
Yes.
go.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know what? We're over it now. You know, we're so over it. We're forgiving people for, for the pause,
It makes it so much easier without it. Not gonna lie, it
Yeah.
makes it so much easier without it, and it seems to just makes things better. Welcome to another Jedi
Our
Academy.
Jesus forgives you.
So, if you guys aren't familiar with Jedi Academy, this is a 2-hour-ish Q&A show for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. You guys ask the questions, and then we will answer your questions for you. So get those questions in chat. In order to get your questions read, please make sure that you include the word question in whatever question that you're posting in YouTube, because it's looking for that word in order to catch it with the bot that we use. So again, make sure you include the word question in there when you're doing it. Otherwise, we will probably miss your question. So, Nev, it's been a somewhat quietish week overall.
You think I've loved the week. I thought it's been a brilliant week. I mean, all right, yes, it's marquees and it's pretty much minute, but it's the marquees that we've had this week. It's been so different from other marquees. It's not like another Finn or another Poe or another Sith Trooper or Hux. It's the friggin' Mandalorians, and we've been like begging for this since the show came out in November. As soon as that first episode aired, it's like, give us Mandalorian characters.
And this was a quick turnaround in comparison, right? Because we saw, maybe it's because they got a sense that the Resistance show maybe wasn't becoming quite the hit that they thought that it was going to be. They turned around the Mandalorian characters pretty quick compared to when the season was, compared to some of the other things they've done. Any TV show, any of the movies, it's always seemed to be a little bit of a bigger lag than this. I'm wondering if there's anything to do with the COVID and the fact that they needed to do something in order to really boost people, because it hadn't been a kind of a great capturing moment for a bunch of people that were just kind of home for a lot of it, right? During COVID.
I'm thinking I'm actually of the mind that this was done. I don't think that they started this until they were in their little, their own shutdown. They were all doing their own work from home anyway, because it's not reminiscent of 2018 when they were bringing characters out before the Rogue One movie. Because when I remember the first one they brought off, Scarif Rebel Pathfinder, back in and they not 2018, 2000, can't remember what year it was, but I remember the release of it, and they were talking about it on their forums, and it was like, in preparation for the release of Rogue One, here's a character from Rogue One. Oh, we've got an Aussie. But so I think that this was, there's very little that we can do, but bringing in new characters was something that maybe perhaps CG, I think it's one of the more easier things for them to do. And they simply said to the art department, right, you're working from home, crack on, art department, crack on, devs crack on with a couple of new characters. And clearly they're fans of the show, because like they said, that they got those abilities kind of like in key with the beginning of the show, as opposed to more towards the end of the show.
Yeah.
Except Grief Karga should have had do the magic hand thing, baby. Do the magic hand.
Yeah, I mean, okay, let's just call it what it is. Today's Jedi Academy is worldwide now. It is official.
It's the Ashes.
It's just all kinds of insanity. So we have East Coast. We have, while in Central Time, still the Brit. We have Nev. Then we have the Aussie, who's it's like what is it? Midnight, 1 a.m. for you, Heinzie?
RSG is going down under, my friend. Hello, gentlemen. It is an absolute pleasure. Good morning to these awesome people in the US. Everyone except for Nev, of course, because he's a Pom, so I'm not allowed to like him. That's just like the law here.
Hey, he's not just a Pom. He's Pom-Pom-tastic.
Yes, I'm just Pom-Pom-tastic. I'm not just the Pom. I am the Pom-Pom. I've never thought of that, Finn, until you just said that. That never occurred to me.
Classic. No, gentlemen, it's a pleasure. It really is. I'm wearing my beautiful RSG hat here that was sent down to me from you absolute bunch of stars at RSG. So thank you so much for doing that after we did something together some time ago. So it's way overdue, and thank you for putting up with me. Good morning, all you guys in the US. It's great to have a chat.
I needed to get back to you, too, to make sure you got that. So I'm glad that you got that. If you guys don't know what Heinzie is wearing here, by the way, Heinzie was awesome, did a stream with Ranger and Grande for GAC and donated half the proceeds to the American Cancer Society while we were doing our fundraiser. And we wanted to thank him, and the American Cancer Society wanted to thank him. So that's from the ACS directly, Heinzie. They wanted to thank
awesome.
you for what you did.
Absolutely incredible. I'm super stoked. Look, cancer just, it just sucks. It really does. So at the end of the day, man, it doesn't matter where, all over the world, everyone's affected. My family's been affected. So again, they do some wonderful work across the world. So anywhere we can give cancer a kick in the nuts, mate, I'm all for that. So thank you so much. It's a pleasure. I just saw if I can butt in, if you don't mind, man.
Mm-hmm.
I have this question out there: which streamers live in New Zealand or Australia who play SWGOH? Obviously, there's myself at the moment. There's a huge influential figure across many channels that we all know and love. The man from Tamworth down in Australia, Scotty McLaren. He's very, very well known across the community. Doesn't do streaming as such, but does so many things in the background for everyone. Obviously, he was working where Nev was for a while there, and probably the only other Australian streamer I know of as well is another gentleman, Joe Normus, who is based out of South Australia. I believe he is as well, but. We're here to fly the flag down under, man, and some of our best work's done down under.
All right, and then continuing our international flair, for someone from Florida, California seems like a whole new country. We have Jedi Master Adastra.
Good morning.
How are you, Adastra? It has been a while.
It sure has. Glad to be here. All is well. How about you?
It has been well. People have missed you, by the way, and I'm sure you know one person in particular that has missed your presence.
Yeah, pretty sure.
He was convinced that there was some replacement shenanigans going on. Just so you know.
What?
Because
there can only be one Jedi Master Adastra.
There can be, but we had Van Seal on last week. And so, of course...
Oh, no, I wanted to join that because he told me that he was going to go on. I'm like, about damn time. And I wanted to join that one, but I couldn't make it.
Yeah, and so, of course, Durgan believed that we were replacing you with him. So he had to ask the question. If we were replacing you.
Yeah.
Because that's what Durgan does.
Oh, no, all good.
Nope, see, and Adastra's here. So there you go, Durgan. Your question has been answered by the presence of Adastra herself. All right, so get those questions in. Again, so if you guys, again, aren't familiar with it, this is Jedi Academy. You guys ask the questions, we will answer them. And I'm collecting the questions as we go. And Minato Namikaze donated $2 and said, "Hi, Adastra, I've missed you."
Hello. Good to see you.
Yeah, he wants like a personal shout out. Don't give him it. You can kind of just like tease him along with it. I'm telling you.
Who? I don't know who you're talking about now.
Fourth Hokage.
Who?
Minato Namikaze. Oh, I like that. Good. Let's just stick with that. Let's just stick with that. I like that.
See, you did the shout out for me.
There you go. Mm-hmm. He doesn't care about my shout outs. I mean, unless I do it as a chipmunk, he doesn't care about my shout outs. So I'm just when I do it as a chipmunk, he seems to care a little more. But let's go ahead and jump into some questions because you guys are actually really quick. Adastra, let's go to you. How has your view on the game been since the last time you were on? There's been a lot of stuff actually happening since then. The Galactic Legends are having more of an appearance for sure. And then we didn't get your thoughts on The Mandalorian. So what do you think of everything new in the game recently?
Yeah, it's been quite a lot they're throwing at us. It's always in spurts, like new character. How about 3 new characters? So it's kind of nice though. We were overdue for some marquee love, to eventually have some stuff to farm again. I skipped over Kara and went straight for Grief and Mando because they just look, yeah, there's so many cool possibilities with them, and it's the Mandalorian. I mean, I was so excited for that. I was like, he looks awesome. I was disappointed with, it's just a small complaint, that they didn't give them any animations. I thought they were doing that for like a lot of the new characters. When you go to the selection screen, they would do a little animation, like, firing their gun or just a pose. He's just kind of standing there awkwardly. I was like, I stared at the screen for like a couple of minutes. I was like, are you going to do anything? I guess not. So that was, they lost the opportunity right there. They could have done something cool. But otherwise, yeah, they did a good job with this kit, I thought. That there's so many. I mean, it's people are just barely scratching the surface right now of what you can do with these new bounty hunters, and you can mix and match different bounty hunter teams, throw some scoundrels in there. I mean, it's pretty exciting seeing already that they're killing doctor teams, and they can kill Padme, they can kill. I don't know if anyone's tried against General Skywalker yet, though, but probably possible for that too. The real question is, can they take on a galactic legend? So that'll be
you know the answer
crazy.
to that.
Maybe?
If they could take on galactic legends, they would nerf them as quickly as you go. There, it's done. They're nerfed. Like, they're not letting galactic legends be beat by these characters.
Hey, there's so already pretty crazy stuff beating galactic legends, so it's not out of the realm of possibilities. So you never know.
Yeah. But that just probably means CG doesn't know about it yet.
No, yeah, I'm happy with them. They're both. The bounty hunters were already a pretty decent faction, so this really elevated them nicely. Just downside is they're not dark side, so you can't use it in dark side TV. So a lot of people there probably would have liked to be able to form a strong team in that TV to help get through. But otherwise, yeah, solid characters. They did a good job with them, I thought. Yeah. And then of course it opens it up to future characters from that show, which I'm sure everyone's already talking about. Oh, the child! We're gonna get a legend child, right? So that's gonna be the next big hype one, I think. That
how can we kill the child?
A lot of money.
Oh God!
Make a lot of money.
Stop, dude! Seriously.
I don't want to kill the child.
They've got Jack in SA.
Yeah.
Jack is a baby, so they're not. It's not. If they don't bring the child into the game, it's not because he's a child. Because Disney are quite happy for Jack to be, whacked in another game. So I
but
don't think
Star Wars
they don't
Galactic
bring them in. I don't think it would be for that reason.
I mean, it is a little bit more adult though. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is a little more adult. Like, not everything is like a little baby mouse and stuff in the game. It's hard to compare. Baby Yoda amongst Mandalorians is a lot different than Sorcerer's Arena. But
there's no reason why Baby Yoda, if it is released, and let's be honest, if they're going to do it, it's a cash grab anyway, because every man and his dog would wail on Baby Yoda. We all would. No doubt. And with that being
that's
said,
what I mean. Like, CG knows.
Well, they would.
We're gonna cash out.
If Baby Yoda is in your roster, why wouldn't you go after it? But you don't have to kill Baby Yoda. It could be just like, for instance, Hermit Yoda, where you can't actually hit him; he just disappears at the end of the battle.
I have killed Hermit Yoda many a time. Just saying.
I need to roll harder, bro.
Really? You kill? Why? Why would you? Why would you do that?
Evil man.
Why,
because I tried to buy time in order.
With you?
What's he ever done to you?
He's healing up people. It's a nuisance.
You're supposed to run away. Leave him alone.
Yeah, leave him alone.
No, No, I need to
Big
buy time
bully.
in order to recover protection. So killing Hermit Yoda gives me more time. Otherwise, you kill the
Yeah.
other one and he runs away and screws you over. No.
It makes sense. I mean, this is the same guy that relics up Rose Tico really hard. So I guess anything's possible with you, man.
Relic 7. Relic 7 Rose Tico. All right. So let's go ahead and get into the questions because you guys have a lot of them. So we'll jump into it here. First question. Let's go to Nev. So Nev, question from Keyboard says, is using Grand Arena coins to buy mod slicing materials a waste?
I mean, it depends. It's a waste. Just use them for Kairos. I mean,
just buy the mod
most
pack,
people I speak to just use them for Kairos, even if you're hoarding them, because it's one of the easiest locations to get them. So if you're not using your GAC tokens and your GAC currency to get Kairos, and you're wasting it on materials that you can get from so many other locations, Kairos, unless you've got a massive hoard of crystals, there's not that many locations. In fact, it's the only store, isn't it? It's the only store where you can get Kairos. Every now and again, the weekly shipments do Kairos for the ally points, but that's like once in a blue moon. I mean, like really, that's once in a blue moon when they do that. So yeah, I wouldn't use them for anything other than. I mean, if you've got somebody that needs one piece, maybe a couple of them from them, and you're taking them from 12 to 13. And you really, really want to do that, then crack on, fine. But every single time that is refreshing, you should just be, my account's got like over 350 Kairos just on my hoard. I don't need to use any of them yet, but I know that when I do need them, I'm going to start chewing through them like they're going out of fashion. So just Kairos, mate, just Kairos.
Okay, and I'll ask this to you, Nev. Maybe just a separate question because I know this has come up before. If you don't have, I guess, when do you decide to slice a mod? Because you can get mod slicing materials, right? But you may not have mods that are worth slicing. So how do you handle slicing mods?
I put my, I'll take a mod to 15, obviously. And they'll sit on a character, and as soon as I slice mods on characters until they go over 200, and I try and do that with all of my characters. My baseline speed for my characters, for the mods on my characters, is 200. So I will slice mods until I get a combined speed of over 200, and then I move on to the next one. And then when I've got a bunch of spare materials, what I tend to do is I'll just have one player. I'll click on the tab to change it by speed, and then it'll bring up every single mod that you've got from the fastest to the slowest, and then I'll go along each of them and I'll try and bump them up to double digits, or go for that mythical 20. But that's the way that I tend to do it. I don't just randomly slice mods. I tend to put the mods that I want on characters, and I tend to just I would rather slice a mod that is already on a character because I know it's being used, than just waste materials on slicing a random mod and then try and find a character for that mod. I think it's a better use of resources to slice a mod that is already on a character, and that way it's definitely being used.
There you go. Okay, next question to Heinzie. And Heinzie, this question's from Epic Fails. And the question is, did anyone else notice certain challenges got higher gear rewards? Like the ability mats went from the 5 to 6 Mark III Carbantes and 5 to 7 in strength, but I never get the 6 to 7. Is it weird?
Never.
Or just me?
Never get 6 to 7. It's one of those things where it just does not happen. It's good in theory. It just doesn't work in practice. this whole game, obviously, we were told some time ago that there was going to be a relief for gear crunch. To be 100% clear and honest, that's certainly not the case. There's a lot of work still involved in bumping up resources that we require while farming our characters, certainly. But yeah, you can never get enough carbunties. You can never get enough stun guns. The struggle is real across the board for everyone. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, and I think the change in challenges happened a little while ago, right? I don't think those are recent. Yeah. It hasn't been since the beginning, but it was somewhat recent. What was it, like a few months ago, I think, when they updated the challenges?
But at the end of the day, with everything we have to farm now, the issue is that the game, unfortunately, is now revolved around they're not much use unless they're at least gear 12 plus. Anything under that, to be fair, you're just really not going to use it too often. It's one of those things where the game is obviously built so much more around probably more PvP than PvE these days anyway, as far as, and what I mean by that is, of course, territory war and GAC. It's such a massive component of the game now, and that's been built that way. So at the end of the day, everyone should really be focusing on maximizing the potential of your roster, regardless of the size, but making sure that the characters that you're going to consistently use are as strong as possible to give yourself certainly a chance of either holding into defense or making sure that you wipe out a team if you use it to attack. And yeah, anything under gear 12, unfortunately, is just not much use.
Okay. There you go.
In my opinion.
In PvE content for sure now, especially the higher end stuff. I'll say you can still make use of gear 11s and stuff in GAC as long as you don't top load too much. Then it's fine.
Yeah, you can still use them. I still put, for instance, some gear 11 characters I put on defense. My roster is really not a fair comparison, to be honest. Mine's pretty heavy, high end. So I wouldn't sort of be comparing mine in this case. It's sort of not fair. And I don't mean to big note myself. It's just, that's the way it is. But at the end of the day, it's one of those things where, focus on factions that, you enjoy farming. Focus on a faction that is obviously not meta, but obviously high performing for both attack and defense if you need to use it, and really just focus on those that obviously synergize really, really well, that are a plug and play that you can mix and match if you need to, because you're going to come across situations where you're going to need to do that.
Okay. Next question for Adastra. Question is from Bailrid Papichulo, who says, if my Rex has a speed of 301, what would his speed be after factoring in his unique from a full 501st gas squad?
Your Rex then becomes 361. You times his base speed by 1.2 because it's 4% per clone ally. So you have 3 allies on there. So you have the 1.2. So then that comes out to 361. So that is one fast Rex.
Mm-hmm. Fast as hell.
There you go. And then I'll ask you another question here too, Adastra, because this is one we've talked about the last couple of weeks. And actually, I'll ask this of you too, Heinze, because you're new here, so we didn't get your response on this either. So we'll start with Adastra. But the question is from Nathan H. And the question is, what content should be taking the place of new raids that they're working on?
Oh, yeah, I had some choice words when I saw their Q&A saying, yeah, we started on this new raid, but we changed our minds. We're doing something else now that you'll like even more.
I'm going to tangent on that. Did you see the Mace Windu response for the same thing? Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And no Galactic Jedi reworks either. So, I mean, I'm just devastated. No Sandbox Mode, no Jedi reworks. I really don't care at this point what they're going to... I mean, if it's not those, I don't know what they're going to throw that would help make that pain less, So the top theory is that they nixed, the big raid, and that there's still the theory of a personal raid out there, because that would hit on their marks of reaching more people. I mean, a personal raid would literally reach everyone, depending how they handled that. But honestly, I can't think what other mode that people have been asking for, content, everything people have been asking for, they seem to keep shooting down. So I'm honestly not sure what big thing that is going to reach a lot of people that people will be happy for. I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing their next post about it, because I don't know. What's your top theory?
Heinzie, I'll let you go.
Okay, so we're all very disappointed about the Q&A. I think that's pretty obvious across the board. We expected a lot more. We didn't really get anything, which I know that across many communities, they're quite disappointed about that response. There's no doubt. Now, with that being said, we have a Star Wars game. We have a Star Wars game that was built on a movie, and that movie has an attack on a Death Star. Let's be honest here. We should have a Death Star raid. Why we haven't is really sort of unacceptable. I mean, let's be clear. How can we not, use one of the pinnacle parts of the movie that we knew and grew up and loved, and not even have it included in our game? I think is pretty disappointing. Also, GAC. There was talk at some point, quite some time ago, that you'd be able to match up against some of your guildmates. I think that would actually add some extra interest and obviously some excitement as well, being able to take on some of your friends head to head, your teammates head to head as well. They're probably two top things that really should be focused on. Every movie's around the Death Star. As Dig Dug says out there, same thing. How we don't have that really is beyond me. Let's be honest. It's quite disappointing.
Well, I know this was a sore point for Adastra, but let's not forget, the opening screen for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes had Luke with a lightsaber for the longest time, and all we had was Tatooine Luke. And they...
Oh, you need to remind me of this?
No, I'm saying you know. I'm saying you already know. I'm reminding others, and I know I'm pushing a soft spot with you, so I'm apologizing ahead of time.
No, you're fine.
Because this is...
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. But non-lightsaber Luke. We had freaking Farm Boy Luke in this game for what, like 2 years? 2.5 years before they gave us CLS? And we finally had it. He didn't even have the Jedi tag, so we don't have to necessarily go on that. But we finally got a lightsaber Luke, and he was the opening image for the game for like almost its entirety at the beginning. So when you're asking why they're not doing something that's iconic for the game, it's it's their MO now. It's kind of what they do, which is sad. But
well, it's also because that they were working on the raid, which makes it even worse. That they're like, yeah, we had this plan for a while, and it sounds like they even had some progress on it. So I know since the new guy ever stepped in, all the plans kind of went wayward. Like Carrie had a specific plan in mind, and then this new guy kind of doing his own thing. So the timetables have really shifted big time of, what they've released and what they're doing. Because the other mode, we're going to get vehicles, like that's still on the table, to get these, like a ship clone arena where you're using vehicles instead. I mean, I hope that's not what it's going to be that they're releasing. But yeah, I mean, we are so in desperate need of a new raid, though. Like, this one has been out over 2 years now. I mean, it's well overdue to give us something.
They said that they were working on the ship raid in the October 2nd Q&A.
Mm-hmm.
October 2nd last year. They said that they were working on it.
Yeah,
they get it early in 2020. So to completely go back on that just sucks.
Exactly. It's just
It's bullshit. That's what it is.
You are not wrong, sir.
I was gonna say. I mean, you're not wrong.
Sorry, us Australians call a spade a spade. I do apologise, but I have a bleep button. So I know it's early morning there, but that's just how we roll down here.
Really? That's crazy. I'm telling you right now. All right. So maybe this is off the wall and me being way too optimistic. I'm kind of hoping for the Death Star raid, but I hope that they're not making... Again, this is me being optimistic and knowing 99.99% chance I'm wrong, but I'm hoping it's a personal raid that allows us to get more gear. It's the Death Star. We use our roster to raid the Death Star, do everything else. It's not a guild activity. It's just a solo raid. You collect your tickets the same way that you do your raid tickets for your guild. So you accumulate your own personal tickets. When you get enough, you attempt the Death Star, you get some gear at the end of it, and boom, you're done. That's what I'm hoping, because that not only gives us content, it also gives us gear, which is what we need, because the gear crunch is really bad in this game right now. Especially the higher end gear, like we've talked about, the stun guns, the Carbantis, the Kyro.
Awful. Yeah. Let alone, scavenger. I have run out of scavenger material, and I am farming pieces just to use in the scavenger. It's terrible.
Keyboard.
A personal raid would satisfy, EA's criteria for putting out content, which is give the whales and the krakens something that they can, brag about. Because obviously, a whale or a kraken account is going to be able to do a personal raid, the highest tier pretty much straight away. And, it will encourage them to, spend on squads that maybe aren't effective in a personal raid, while also satisfying, the lower end of the community that won't be able to do that top tier and complete it straight away, but they'll be able to participate and they'll be able to start building on the squad that are needed for whatever criteria the personal raid is.
They'd have to handle
back in a moment.
Yeah, they'd have to handle it in a good way for the tiers to have it where, lower end would be inclined to beat it, that it'd be worthwhile, and then it'd still be worthwhile for higher end to beat it. But a pro raid is one of the other items people have been okay with. So we struck out on everything else so far, so maybe it will be a personal raid. They'll just copy whatever they are working for the big raid, and maybe they're just going to scale it down for the personal raid. So, if they have a lot of that, because they wouldn't just throw away all that they worked on for this big ship raid that was planned forever.
Are you
sure?
So
they might just scale it. It loses them money. So they're not going to just dump it. So they're probably just going to scale it down and make that their personal raid. Like, this is what we had in mind all along, guys.
I feel like I'm just poking Adastra, because I was just about to mention how they had Mace reworked for TW or TB before they released it, and then said it wasn't working right.
Oh yeah, I'm well aware. I fully expected reworks because of the weekly shipments and just everything kind of lined up. Like, we had just this nice little gap. It was a good time. Give us those reworks. Help out for the light side PV. And it didn't happen.
Yeah.
That was like a knife to the heart right there.
What happened, Nev?
I'm gonna have to duck out. I need. There's something important's just come up.
Okay.
Can't explain it, but I'm gonna have to duck out. I do apologize to everybody, but I'm gonna have to duck out.
No worries. If you're able to.
Sorry to love you and leave you guys, but
well, there's the end of the Nev Infinity show. Nev Infinity show did not last more than 5 minutes. So thank you.
The Nev Infinity show did not last.
It's working it's like CG. It's working as intended, right?
Yeah, my appearance is always subject to change, just like CG.
Your appearance is never subject to change. Have a look at it. Let's be honest.
No worries. Anyway, I'm sorry to leave you guys, but I must duck off. Something's come up, and I really am just going to have to duck off. But I'll be back here next week.
Yeah, take care. Have a good one.
All right, bye now,
everybody.
All right. So, let's go ahead and head into our next question here.
Cool.
So, Heinzie, question to you from Keyboard. And her question is, do you think that a Geonosis zombie could be a character in the game?
Yeah, look, I don't think they're going to really do too much with Geos, to be honest. They've sort of rounded out that team. It's quite balanced generally. obviously, Geo Brood Alpha just brings a lot to the bug faction generally, makes them very, very solid, and in a lot of cases, very hard to beat without a particular lineup, basically, which is obviously a Betrayer-based counter nature. So, yeah, look, Geo Queen, possible. I'd love to have like something crazy like Click Clack. I reckon that'd just be nuts. You know, that's just me though. But at the end of the day, Geo Queen's a possibility, but it's pretty solid anyway. Like even at relic level, you know, I come up against them and I can be one shot. My Scion can be one shot at relic 4 and relic 5 quite easily. It probably could happen, but it probably doesn't need it either. To be fair, I think there's other characters that should be brought in before it, and a Mace rework is obviously something they should be focusing on before anything else.
I don't think Adastra agrees with you on that one.
Well, I had to take mine for a bet last night to like relic 4, so it'd be great if they did a rework. It might be useful now.
All right, next question for Adastra. And Adastra, the question to you is from 26 Rogue, and the question is, what is the best Ultimate Rey squad to beat Ultimate Kylo? I don't have L3. Any tips?
Oh, don't have L3. That was gonna be one of my recommendations. L3 is just so good for that pre-taunt, and you know. Well, you're gonna have your core, of course, Rey and the Purse Bros. Gotta have that trio, and then you kind of have a few options for the +2. Unfortunately, I personally don't have arena experience. My arena is kind of slow. The one of the guys that did get the Kylo ended up he's no longer in the game, so that was an opportunity to lost the practice on someone. But yeah. That threw me off not having L3 there. That's been my go-to. I'll have L3 with them, and then I'm able to kill Kylo team and whatever else. I mean, auto everything basically. So, but you could do popular ones are still, you know, you have Malik and in there. Some people add that in, but I don't really like that. Keep it pure. You could also do Zaris plus Holdo. You could do JPR plus Holdo. Holdo, if you have her, you should. Oh no, you do have her because she was required. So yes. She's a good one for the taunt, and she can heal. So then you can kind of. I mean, you got a lot of options honestly for the +2. It doesn't have to be resistance. Like I've seen, you know, you can do Watt plus Holdo, and then you'll get that force taunt right away, which helps to direct, you know, because Kylo will open with his stun first. So if you can have him stun someone that's not your Rey, that really helps on your opening movements. And then as far as, you know, ultimate versus ultimate, you can kind of time it because the AI for Kylo, it's gonna use the ultimate at his first mark. It's what, the 30%? Like he has the 3 different thresholds. It's not ever gonna hold it for the big hit. So it's actually pretty easy taking him down because he's never gonna ramp up all the way. So you can kill him before because he'll never get to that point. And your ultimate, you can just kind of time it whenever you want. You don't have to press it as soon as it's there. I mean, if you get to your ultimate before they do, before his first threshold, I mean, then you can use yours. I mean, Whirlwind is gonna kind of do a lot of the work for you. Like sometimes you don't even have to use the ultimate. Kind of funny enough, you can just Whirlwind everyone. Especially now that it's working correctly, because they had scaled it down. Now it's back up to being the proper percent damage, and it works all right. So it also depends on what Kylo comp you're going against. There's a lot of different ones out there that sometimes you can just use the 501st to kill it with ease, you know, depending which one they set. So it's kind of hard to say with certainty your perfect comp because I don't know what Kylo comp you're going against. because depending what you're going against, sometimes your +2s are better. I mean, some people are even using Han Solo in there just to have a stun and against one of the sides. But generally, it's a pretty easy battle when you have Ultimate Ray versus, I mean, in general. But I would recommend going to the Resistance server. There's a lot of talk about that kind of stuff of us all killing Kylos and other things with Ray. But yeah, without L3, again, I kind of went off on a tangent there. Yeah, Watt plus Holdo is going to be one of your good ones, just again, to force the taunt. And then you can have some people have had success with JTR and 3PO, but because then you have mass assists, you have a lot of assisting attacks, and because you just kind of focus everyone down pretty quickly. But yeah, so have fun destroying those First Order peoples.
That's it. There you go. A detailed answer from Adastra, because I knew she would be able to get that. All right. Heinzie, question to you.
Sure.
From Nathan H. And the question is, I am putting my two best squads on defense. One in the front up top and one in the bottom front. It's the Galactic Republic and the Grievous team. Any advice with that strategy?
No, that works well. There's no point putting them in one zone. If your opponent obviously gets stuck on one or the other character, there's a chance of them blocking, obviously, and going any further. Therefore, saving, banners against your lineup, and therefore you don't have to be as careful or as efficient in attack. So, spreading the wealth, so to speak, is something that I always do. Normally, I try and at least fit 3 of your most solid teams in one in each of those zones, generally, depending on obviously what your strength of your roster is. I try and pick the top 3 defense teams. I do a list of top 3 your top 7 defense teams, top 7 attack teams that you're comfortable with. And then the idea is obviously spread them around accordingly. But yeah, at least the top 3, one in each zone at this point, with this structure anyway.
And I don't know about you, and we can ask, a GAC strategy is something that comes up a lot. Teams that you put on defense and making them strong is important too, right? But it's not just the teams that you put on defense. There needs to be kind of some, especially as you get into higher levels, right? It's about what teams you're putting on defense and why, and trying to drain particular counters. If you like, Treya, CLS, and Jedi Knight Revan are usually the teams that people are going to have on offense, waiting to clear out one of your teams. So what is your strategy to kind of combat those, right? Like maybe putting multiple teams that drain those, so they can't use that Treya counter against Geos and Night Sisters, or they can't use Jedi Knight Revan against Grievous and Padme. What is your strategy for those?
Well, you got Dr. Feelgood. He's dropping some bombs there in chat, man. Absolute champion, Doc. Good work, brother. Yeah, look, when it comes to strategy, obviously you do want to get to the point where when they get to that back zone, they get to the point where they don't use a conventional counter that they would like to use. That's the trick. You want them to use them up front and try and catch them off guard so that when they get to that, they go, oh, what am I going to use here? That's the trick. However, with that being said, you don't want to put all the heavy stuff at the back, because then they're going to smash through all the front nice and easy and be pretty conservative and have plenty in the tank for down the back. You've got to make and it is quite, it's quite strategic. You need to make him second guess his first run of attack, and he needs to think at the start. You've got to get them on they've got to get in their head and go, look, okay, if I do this here, am I going to get caught out the back? If I do this, it's not going to work as well. But if I pull it off, then I've got something at the back just in case. So there's some mind games involved in GAC generally, which is why it is an enjoyable game mode. You do have to theory craft and think your way through it. Otherwise, you can get caught out and quite quickly and quite easily.
There you go. And we now have a replacement Brit. Straight from England himself, it is Mr. Mike Hunt. Mike, how have you been?
Wait.
Very enthusiastic start by Mike.
Okay. Pandemically fine. Lots of other stuff going on. I fractured my shoulder back in February.
Oh, well, that's no good.
No, I'm dyspraxic, and I managed to trip myself over on a major junction in central London. That was fun.
You're better now, I hope.
Working back on that. Not yet. It's had setbacks. There's been other stuff going on which has been superseded everything else. I can't go into it, but let's just say that support for mental health is paramount, especially in this time. Sorry, you asked me how I am, and I've got to
I
go
hope
straight.
you get better. That's,
Yeah.
No, you're answering the question. So
Yeah.
It's a family thing, and yes, there's lots of healing needs to take place, but it has meant that I haven't been able to participate in any kind of streaming. And in fact, anyone that's subscribed to my channel, thank you for remaining subscribed. I have actually recorded the counter to the Arnold battle, which he streamed, so I couldn't even join that. That was disappointing. But anyway, I have got the counter to that, and I'll upload that, including the result, because of course.
And no reason to apologize at all. By the way,
yeah.
I mean you have a lot real life over everything else, healthy and taking care of yourself and your family. That is paramount. So I really hope for the best for all of you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Thank you.
Couldn't agree more.
The game and the community for me is something of a distraction and support. I mean, this game has the community surrounding this game, and that is just fantastic. It's the most supportive, generous. Just those two words are they'll suffice there. But they're actually, that doesn't begin to get anywhere near it. But the community is wonderful, and we're all supporting each other as much as we can. So it's my way of saying thank you as well. But look, I can't hang around for a long time, but sorry, I just leaned on my bad arm, trying to get comfy. But I'll stick around for a little bit and answer a couple of game related questions if I can, if you'll have me.
Yeah, of course. All right. Well, we'll throw you a question right now. Are you ready? We're gonna throw you right into the fire, Mike.
Oh joy. Go on, as long as it's not mine.
No, it is not your question. All right. So the question to you, from Skywalker Vader. By the way, Utah just donated $2. Said community love you guys, and yes, the community is awesome in this game. So shout out to everyone here, and for you guys telling your friends to join. I mean, we want to continue building the community. Everyone here is here because they love the community. And again, Heinze, it's like midnight for him. Adastra, this is usually just before she goes to work. Of course, Mike just explained his. And we're all spending our free time with you guys because you guys are awesome. So thank you to everyone in the community. And then Dr. Feelgood earlier, as Heinze mentioned, $1.99 said, if you're enjoying the content, please hit that thumbs up. That's right. Thumbs up. All right. So the question to you, Mike, from Skywalker Vader. He said, question, for mods, have you changed your mod farming? What mods are you looking for now other than speed with speed secondary?
Okay. Unfortunately, no, I haven't. And the very simple reason why I haven't is because I'm constantly hitting the mod cap, and I can't do anything about that unless I do a major shred. Yeah, I still look for. I do the occasional purchase. I've got a 5-speed purple crit damage triangle ready to spin soon, but yeah, in answer to your question, unfortunately you kind of need to really farm them all now. I'd kind of maybe even look at going to like a 6-week rota, you need your tenacity for your big tanks and whatnots. So tenacity is a very, very important part of this game, because it keeps those tunes alive that keep the attackers alive and so on. Yeah, so you get there. Your crit damage, crit chance combos for your main attackers. I mean, let's face it. I mean, now it's kind of like hitting hard is the only way that you might get anywhere. Because if you're doshing out, weak hits, then you're just going to get slaughtered on the counter and everything. Health, Yorkie. So I'm still running my alt account, and he's just gone. He's just hit Kyber again in round 2. Round 2. I took 2 battles to take out my opponent's General Grievous. He took 7, taking out mine. To put it into context, his Grievous was Relic 5, but had 4 crit damage mods, and I think maybe 2 health. I'm pretty sure he crit damaged, crit chance his mods on his Grievous, and that I need to reach out to him and let him know. Slap health on there, and your Grievous will actually hit harder. So coming back to that, health mods are really important. You need the health mods on your Grievouses, you need health mods on your Scarifs, your Barris, your zombies, your GBAs. Lots and lots of tunes respond better with health mods than anything else. So health mods are probably the least to farm, because we get them in the drops in the various events that are put on. But you've got those. Then obviously you have your offense mods, and offense mods work excellently on certain tunes, and those tunes are coming up and up and up. So again, you've got to work on those. So I've pretty much gone through the lot. You need them. You need them for the different squads. The only caveat to that is obviously what you're working on. Normally, we kind of tend to work to a group. You're not working on 5 different factions all at the same time. You're bringing together a squad for a general purpose, and focus on those and what requirements there are. There's lots of advice out there, and on here, obviously. But just working on target the ones and maybe earmark certain ones. And obviously coming back to the final one, which was actually speed, yes, we need speed on a lot of the pivotal characters that maybe don't even damage deal. Hermit Yoda and Wat Tambor, for example, those 2 prime, immediately spring to mind, and speed wins on those. So my advice would be to maybe do a rota, a week of speed, a week of crit damage, a week of, or maybe then break down half a week on crit chance and tenacity or something, just to look for those. The tenacity ones, invariably, you don't actually need the speed. The rest of them, you're filtering for specifics, and I've really waffled for that. Thank you.
You didn't waffle. There's a lot of different mods, and I think you're explaining the best thing, which is sometimes it requires you to mod for different characters. I mean, speed is like the most general one that everyone is going to use, but they have done a good job. I'll give CG credit for that, which is more recently they have made characters that benefit more from other mods besides just straight up speed. And it is kind of breaking that away so we can use, kind of like Mike mentioned, tenacity and health and crit damage, and now offense has been improved. So it is going to be kind of character dependent, and Mike went through good detail on which characters may be ones that you need other mods for. So, all right. Adastra. So we have kind of a short question for you and then a second question for you. So first question is from Minato Namikaze, and you don't have to remember that name. But his question is, will the child have a Jedi tag?
Nope.
Mm-mm. He might end up with a Mandalorian or a bounty hunter tag first.
Right? I mean, I could tell.
Yeah.
There was some fan art that people posted of him as a bounty hunter
With
like,
the little
growing up.
Mandalorian helmet?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
And the little
adorable.
ears sticking out. Yes,
And he
I
had
saw that.
like a lightsaber too, so it was like a mixture of a Jedi, Mandalorian, or whatever.
That looks badass. I mean, let's be honest. That looks sick.
I was like, I would be down to get that version someday.
Yes.
Mandalorian Jedi, the child would just be, I'd be okay with that.
Yes, I would. All right, so then your second question here from Red Ribbon Army. He says, I am only likely to get one anytime soon, so which galactic legend is they one to go for?
Ooh, that is a hard one because they are both top tier, obviously. I mean, they are the highest and, craziest that you can get. So, oh man, I guess the only way I can answer this fairly is to give kind of some pros and cons to both. And then, because I mean, either one is good, to be honest. So I can't really say, go this way, forget this one. So a few factors to consider would be, first of all, your roster. Like, where are you at with your First Order and your Resistance? So if you have a noticeable lead on one of those factions, then that's kind of an answer right there. Like, if you're way more ahead on your Resistance farming, gear, then there you go. That'd be the path. And in the same way, if you had more First Order love going on, then there you go. There's your path. Because they're both really good in arena. You're gonna kill everything on offense. Defensively, Rey does seem to be better because she works with her team, whereas Kylo kills his team, to put it simply. So you can build a team around her to make it tougher to kill, but Kylo can solo stuff. So if people leave him for last, he's going to end up killing the whole team. So defensively, he's still strong too. I just think she's a little stronger because of the team aspect. For the raid, there's no contest there. If you are in a guild doing heroic Sith raid, Kylo can solo the whole thing, whereas Rey can solo. If you have all the time in the world, she could solo phase 2. Otherwise, she's good in phase 4. You can solo a good portion of that. So that's definitely a big mark for Kylo in domination. But then for back to competitive play, they're both top tier. So I mean, it's just going to come down to your roster again. Like if your resources. Because then the usefulness of the characters that you're building up, First Order does have the edge for that though. So like if you are completely even on your Resistance First Order is what I'm talking about now. First Order, as painful it is for me to say this, most of them are going to be more useful than the Resistance characters you have to gear up. Like Rose Tico, that one still hurts. She is forever on my bench. I don't use her.
I do.
I like Rose.
But I was just gonna say, I know some people have though. Some people even have her Zeta, and it's been a really good Grand Arena team. Like people will use her on defense, and they've gotten holds. So, but my point though was that First Order, they have the pilots too. Like they all have ships that are, you got the nice First Order team. Resistance, unfortunately, their resistance team for ships is still missing something. Like that, you have to. It's not a top tier team, but so I'd give the edge slightly to First Order in the ship realm when they're the tunes you have to work on, and then the pilots. They're slightly better for arena purposes if you have the finalizer and you're using it and etc. Let's see. I don't know. Am I missing anything? So overall, it's like I said. I try to be as unbiased as possible here because I'm personally, I have both of them maxed out. I have both ultimates. I have them both. So this is me personally. I love Ray a lot more than him for the usability and competitive play. So like that's just me on a personal note though. Whereas I'm sure others will flip it and say they prefer Kylo. But they can both solo, Kylo. They're both strong. So it's hard to one doesn't truly stand out over the other in every single aspect. So it's yeah. I hope that helped some.
Mm-hmm. No, it's true. And I think one of the, as obvious as this probably is, one of the deciding factors between whether or not to go with Rey or Kylo is which one you're closer to because of the investment. All right, next question here. We're going back up to the top to Heinze. So, Heinze, question to you. We'll keep it kind of on the same topic. It's not Galactic Legend, though, but Nathan H. says, is old school Kylo a good Zeta investment?
Look, he's still got mine Zated. I still obviously use a KRU team quite consistently, of course. I don't have Galactic Kylo yet. With that in mind, yes, he's still quite functional. Still great on attack and defense. I've got a very heavy-duty Death Panda, to be honest, and he's Relic 7, and he's a lot of fun. Of course, Death Panda, first order executioner, just to be clear. And look, it's still very, very solid, especially if you've got Kylo unmasked. I always put that in there. The Zeta is certainly the stronger that you can make that first order team anyway, I would always recommend. There's certainly grown some legs now with the new Supreme Kylo anyway. So look, it's certainly not a worse investment. There's a lot of worse Zetas out there, to be honest, and I've put a heck of a lot of them on, the wrong ones. We all have. It's certainly not something that I would say don't do, because he will be solid, certainly.
There you go. Mike.
So,
good.
Yeah, I just wanted to add on to going. I mean, this is maybe kind of first world problems, but something I've noticed. So I have both the Galactic Legends. Neither of them have an ultimate. I haven't actually got that far with them yet. However, what I'm noticing is everything I need to kind of boost up all around them is from the dark side battles. So I'm accruing the Kylo tokens way quicker than I do the Rey. The Rey I actually have to intentionally go and farm a cheap node to stack them up. Whereas I find that I'm constantly farming the dark side for the materials for either the support or the next projects and so on. But I'm just that may be just limited to me. Maybe it's just the way that I'm working at the moment on there. But my own findings are that I'm stacking the Kylo ones rapidly, and I have to really concentrate to get the Rey ones for the ultimate.
No, that's interesting. So you're not actually going out for Kylo right now, just farming for the tickets. You're doing your regular kind of gear farming, getting the tickets along the way for Kylo.
Yes. Yeah. There's okay. Kylo, you going for the Kairos and everything. I got stuck. This GAC, my GL Kylo is gear 11, I think. I didn't have the materials ready. I mean, he's now Relic 7, but going into GAC, I just didn't have the time. And yeah.
There you go. Okay. So Mike, next question to you is from Bill Buttlicker, and his question.
That name.
I just realized.
Yeah.
That's what I just realized. I'm asking a question from Bill Buttlicker to Mike Hunt.
There's streaming gold for you.
That's hilarious.
Timestamp.
There's a party for two right there.
Oh my god. Party of Buttlicker and Mike Hunt. God damn. All right.
Oh, I love it.
All right. So, Mike, the question is, what do you think we're going to get on May the 4th? Other than updating the login table, double drops, was anything announced if we're getting any additional goodies?
No, we're going to be Jedi mind tricked into emptying our bank accounts into theirs.
Packs. Always.
Packs.
I mean, content.
It's funny because it's true.
It is. Never before seen packs.
Exactly.
More mod packs. Nev loves those. We get more mod packs.
Oh God. Oh God. If they release those as a May the 4th special, just oh my God.
Oh, that would be funny.
But double drops are always welcome. I'm looking forward to that.
True.
I'm looking
forward to getting my 0x0. It's gonna be nice.
Yes.
Is it just me, or was that so mean that yes, double drops are, except for the Galactic Legend tokens. We're not going to include those. I mean, that really.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me. I guess
they don't want to make it too easy on people.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think they're too new for them to accelerate that quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
they want people spending. Come on.
Pretty much, yeah.
No, I know. I'm aware of that, but people would still have spent, irrespective, and spend.
Yeah.
Yeah, those mod packs were so horrible, though. I hope we don't get more of those.
Yeah, no, those mod packs were just
bad.
They really were.
Even for CG standards, those were bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I'm sure their feedback was fantastic.
They're working as intended.
All right. They did include events, right? We are getting some additional events during those few days, so that is something else. And others were saying that they've given us stuff on May the 4th. I honestly can't remember. What I usually do remember about May the 4th is that they do give like a 25% discount on the crystal packs. So you can buy crystals for 25% less. So that would be the other thing I would expect. And that's good for the spenders in the game because you get a much better value for your crystals.
Didn't we get a Zeta one year?
Yeah, we got a full Zeta last year.
Okay, so was that May the 4th?
No, that was
or the anniversary?
That was the game anniversary. Yeah.
See, I remember more things on game anniversary than I do May the 4th. That's why I can't remember if we've had like really good things just coming in the mail during May the 4th. Others have said they have. I just honestly don't remember. I remember
Chewy
for
shards
game
every year.
Well, Chewy shards are I mean that's kind of a fun running game.
Chewy shards.
If we don't get them, I'll be ropeable.
Right?
Well, they did say they're working on Empire Strikes Back stuff, so maybe we will get
Chewy was in that.
Yeah, Chewy was in that. We could see Chewy. All right. I mean, maybe
they had discounts on the packs, but never the vault anymore. I mean, the crystals. They haven't discounted the vault yet, but they had a deal where it was like the $20 one you could buy twice for cheaper, or it was the $10 one. It was one of those that you could buy more than once for a cheaper price, right?
But not May the 4th. I thought May the 4th was across the board 25% off on all of them, but a one-time purchase only.
No, I think it was only
not last year. Ones. They haven't done that for a long time now, because I remember that being a complaint at other events. So I don't think they did that last year. I think that was just the $20 one that you could get twice.
Yeah,
I think.
Okay. That's right.
Temple's saying that full Zeta for May the 4th last year as well.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a Zeta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Temple.
So I mean that was that was really nice.
With the Zetas lately. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Because now they have a new ultimate currency for abilities. We don't care about Zetas as much.
See, I still care. Those Galactic Legends ate up my Zeta horde. Yeah, so I still care.
Sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I'm trying to remember where Yorkie got the 10 Malakans gas shard.
Was that May the 4th also?
That was from May the 4th last year.
Okay. Yes, I do remember them giving those.
Was it? Yeah, no, I'm now blurring time. And did we have gas last May the 4th?
No, that would have been
I
anniversary.
don't think
I
we
think.
did.
Because they came out October somewhere?
Yeah,
Or somewhere around
yeah.
there.
So
that was probably
everything's
or
blurring.
Christmas or
I
something.
mean, we
I think that was anniversary.
About lockdown. Sorry, I'm just going back to lockdown quickly. And the analogy was it's Groundhog Day, but without the funny bits.
Well, that's what Clone Wars Chewie is for. All right. Next question here for Adastra. We have a lot of questions, so we'll start running through these here. So, Adastra, a question to you from Minato Namikaze. And his question is, given CG's reasoning for Rey not having the Jedi tag, is this a sign that Episode 6 Luke will be also lacking the Jedi tag and only be a rebel?
It's very possible, because the theory with him is he'll come along with his ship. You'll get you'll get his X-wing and him together. At least that was the theory for the ship raid, that would have been an appropriate reward. But I'm not sure how we'll get him now. But I fully expect him to be rebel, depending how they release him, and because the reasoning for Rey would still stand with the reasoning for any future powerful Jedi, because we already have some strong Jedi, so they'd have to do the kit in a very specific way that wouldn't break everything. So, I mean, it's painful, but I would not be surprised if we didn't get him as the Jedi. I'm thinking our Jedi Luke is going to be the old man Jedi Luke from the other movies.
Yeah.
Episode.
I am curious, though, Adastra.
With the other movies.
I am curious on your thoughts on that, though. I personally like the fact that they finally came out and said we didn't give her the Jedi tag because it would break the game. I mean, to me, that is a fair response, because we knew Jedi Knight Revan and Jolie with Galactic Legend Rey, if she had a Jedi tag, would just be game over for anyone. But
that's what I was excited for, because of Jedi will be unstoppable.
But
I would have been all for it.
Oh yeah.
It was disappointing, but I understood the reasoning for it.
I was glad they got off of she wasn't really a Jedi at the point in episode 9 that we created her character.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm glad they finally just came out and said it, especially when they talked about Greef not having the neutral tag because he was good by the end of the season. It made no sense with how they came up with Rey's conclusion. So, I was glad that they finally just came out and said it.
Yep.
Okay. Next question. This is a around the corn question, so we'll ask everyone. We'll start with Heinze and then just work our way around.
Sure.
For Gav P, he says, "What's your favorite non-meta team, defense or offense, that you use for GAC?"
Bounty Hunters is fun as hell.
There we go.
Every day of the week. I'm a massive fan of Bounty Hunters, as I mentioned not long ago. I've got a Relic 7 Django, Relic 5 Bosk. I'm farming Mando. I'm farming Greef. Sorry, not Greef. I call him Mando Apollo Creed. That's just me. I grew up at that time. And definitely Bounty Hunters is my passion and something that I'm certainly focusing on enormously. My guild is named Mandalorians, so if I don't go after these guys, I'd be a pretty crap leader, wouldn't I? So that's where we're at. My favorite.
There you go. Mike, what is your favorite non-meta team for GAC? Offense or defense?
Oh, my favorite non-men. Actually, when I get to use my scoundrels, does that count as non-meta, or are they classify?
No, scoundrels are kind of mid-tier, lower tier, if anything, right now. So yeah.
Yeah, I've got a relic.
Depends what scoundrels you're talking about.
So I'm talking about. So it would be the Kira with young Mr. Mustachio, young Han, Vandor, Chewie or whatever, and T3, L3, whatever the hell it is. That bird box.
Little droid or big droid?
The tall lanky one.
L3.
L3. That's the one. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, that is fun. I mean, when you get to kind of, and then maybe throw Nest in if I've not named enough. But yeah, going that kind of route and just playing around with preparation. I must admit, I do get a real buzz after getting a massive hit when Han unloads with 5 lots of preparation on the table. It can be fun. Yeah. So when I get an opportunity to use them, I did last round. I think I actually got a win against something. That's mum. Why has everything gone quiet?
All right, and then Adastra, what question? Which team for you? I'm imagining it's some kind of off Jedi team.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm sure you know it's at least Jedi oriented.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, it's definitely Qui-Gon Jinn. I have so much fun with the Qui-Gon Jinn lead team, both on defense and offense. I use it both ways. I mean, it's usually my core is Qui-Gon, Ezra, Kanan is usually my core 3. Especially on defense, gotta have at least one tank in there to help a little bit. But it's a lot of fun because you can, at least for me, because I have the options for it. So like I'll put Ayla in there, and that's a good Ayla plus Ezra. I'll usually be able to kill something really quickly, and then I can reapply the foresight quickly for everyone, and I'll just kind of go around and kill off the team. I mean, obviously it's not taking on a top tier team, but like I've taken on First Order with it, Bounty Hunter, a not very good Bounty Hunter team rather, because usually I'll imp them, but I've tried different. I put it through its paces, trying different things to take on, like how much can I kill. It can also kill a CLS team, though you don't really see those on defense as much anymore.
Yeah.
But it's just some fun options for the less meta teams that you'll see on defense. It can kill a good amount, but that's because I have a R7 Ezra, so he's gonna one-shot some potentially. Throw Hermit Yoda in there for some more oomph, and it's a pretty strong little B team, C team, wherever you would want to categorize it. And then defense, it's gotten a hold before. I mean, people either underestimate it or they'll overkill it because they'll see the R7s, so they're like, let's just kill this thing, or I can do a cheap counter on it, but then they get killed. So it's just one of those good extra teams to have if you are Jedi obsessed.
Mm-hmm. Mine is definitely just the Jawas. They're just a ridiculously fun team just to watch when they start loading up the detonators. That's pretty much it.
Oh, definitely. Mm-hmm. Like, one of these days, I really do want Relic Jawas, because my Jawas have bailed me out a few times. If I ran out of stuff on offense, Jawas are usually good to kill something, like to get the ball rolling. And then on defense, it's hilarious. Like, they can get holds if people don't think about it. Those bombs stack up and, there went your team.
Yeah. And then I'll mention too, go ahead, Mike.
I was gonna say, just for anyone before the question's asked, golden rule: if you're going against Jawas, always take out Scavenger first. Mm-hmm. Then they're easy.
Yep.
Yep. No
scrap. Gotta get rid of Scavenger.
Bomb supplier.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's your workaround Jawas, just in case anyone was wondering. Sorry for anyone that sets it.
And really quick, because there was a fun question by Keyboard that says, why are we beeping out swears? Is it because YouTube doesn't like it? No, it's because it's kind of like a Rorschach test and based on what you want to hear. So I'm going to repeat something that Adastra just said, but I'm going to put in a beep. Jedi Master Adastra likes to Qui-Gon Jinn both ways. See? So now you get to think about what it was that was said, and see, that's the fun of it.
Hang on, is this beep automatic?
I don't know how I feel about
that. Hey, I didn't say anything bad, and there's nothing on stream to prove that I did.
Yeah, Qui-Gon Jinn's a good-looking guy. I don't know what we're
I mean, he is Liam Neeson. I mean, that's...
Yeah.
All right.
No. This is important. Is that automatic?
No,
Oh,
it's
damn.
not
I was
automatic.
going to say. Otherwise, I was going to.
not.
Otherwise,
Yeah, it's a button.
I was going to go into Sweary's room and test it. But yeah, you've spoiled it. I can't do that.
Here is Sweary talking. That is
He's even
Sweary.
swearing in Morse code now.
No, that's
Morse
Sweary.
code,
Have you heard Sweary daughter talk? That's Sweary daughter talking. She will. So if she knows how the beeps works, I would not put it past her to know how to curse and get the bleeps to turn the bleeps into Morse code that is more cursing. It would not surprise me with Sweary. She would learn that. All right, let's go ahead and get to the next question. So, Heinzie, question to you. How do you think Galactic Legends will do in 3v3?
Oh, okay. The thing with Galactic Legends, generally, more often than not, you're going to be matched up with someone with Galactic Legends as well. Not all the time, to be fair. I don't think a huge amount of people need to panic about having a Galactic Legend pop up unless you own one. With that being said, as I said, you're going to get occasions where you're going to come up against them. 3v3, I do see a Malik situation coming on. You could chuck her in, as we said, with, L3. You can even chuck her in with, Holdo and tank it up. You could chuck in the 2 resistance heroes in there as well, and they're going to be really, really hard to knock out. So, really, like anything, 3v3 is just a whole different theory crafting concept, and we really haven't had a 3v3 event yet with the Galactic Legends in it. It's all been 5v5 up until now, so we're going to be learning a lot more about what they can and can't do in time. There's no doubt that they will be difficult to beat if you don't have one, namely Kylo. If you don't have Kylo and you come up against Array, I think you will struggle. I'm not saying you can't beat it, but it's going to be a bit more RNG if you don't have one. Are my thoughts anyway.
Yeah.
3v3 will definitely test the bleep machine.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to 3v3. I was hoping we were getting it already because it's my favorite mode. And then it's like, oh God, Galactic Legends. This is going to be an insanity. And it's going to be even more insane now because more people have the Legends and their ultimates. Where if they did it this set or the previous set, it would have been less Galactic Legends out there. But now there's going to be even more people that are going to go up against them with their ultimates. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to it still. It's going to be, it's probably just going to be throw both, as we're doing in 5v5. You throw your Galactic Legend up front. Here you go. Have at it. So it's probably going to be the same with the 3v3. Throw them up front. Have at it. Good luck. But they're not going to be as strong in 3v3 because, with Rey's team, it's having the team surrounding her kind of help. But it's still going to be very challenging. It's going to be the new version of when Dr. Malik first hit 3v3.
Yeah.
That was a nightmare. So it's probably going to be like that.
2 ultimate first order squads there, really, aren't you? I mean, you can throw a crew lead with Mr. Red and Hux, and then slap Galactic Legend Kylo with take your pick out of the other two others. Oh.
Yeah. No, it's going to be...
KRU to chuck a stun off the bat to start with. Slow down the opposition.
Yeah.
Just one example.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So shout out to Rambam001 who donated $2.
Rambam,
and said,
absolute superstar. Hey, Rambam, he's a champion. He was my guest on Harpoons and Beer about 6 hours ago. Absolute champion. Absolutely adore you, bro. Thank you so much for your support. Look after these guys. Everyone out there, fling them a buck or two. They're doing the right thing. They're helping the people. So give them some love here, won't you?
All right. So next one is for Mike. Mike, question to you.
Uh-oh.
Are you ready?
Go on.
Okay. I don't know.
Okay, I'm not muted. Yay!
Yeah, you're not muted. You're not muted.
Yay, I don't have to test that bleeping mute button.
Gosh.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. I don't have the sound effect.
All right, Mike. Question from Darcyon 1972. He says, what do you think we are going to get for the Empire Strikes Back as CG stated?
Ghost Palps.
For Empire Strikes Back?
Oh, hang on. No, right. So maybe I've been a bit out of the loop. What does that mean? Explain the question to someone. Think of it as if I don't
it's pretty
know
simple.
anything and I'm a child. Explain it simply.
They said in a forum post that they're working on Empire Strikes Back content. And so, but we're not sure what exactly they're working on. So it's just a speculation. What do you think from ESB do you think they're actually going to put into the game?
Okay, right. So now I'm going back to childhood because that's when I watched the first three. And Empire Strikes Back was the second one?
No. Well, you're talking about from the trilogy, though. You're talking about from the trilogy, not episode 2. I just need to make sure you're not thinking Empire Strikes Back. Yeah.
Okay, right. I'm really, yeah, okay. So...
Yes, it's episode 5. It is not episode 2.
Okay, so what empirical tunes are they going to bring in?
Or content or whatever. Like, they didn't specify necessarily characters. It was just very much open, but what could they bring in?
I can't help but think that with the introduction of the Mandalorian, that we're going to get, I don't know what the dude's name ends. I don't want to spoil anyone's viewing pleasure if they haven't watched. To be honest, I tried watching episode 8 the other night, very late, and I will need to watch it again because I missed it all. But in there's a load of new dudes turn up with a very, very big gun. It's kind of like I'm looking at that thinking. That could be kind of like a direct count, not a direct counter, but kind of like the Empire version of ARC Trooper, bringing in a tune like that. But then that would lead me to, okay, which one is it? The nasty dude from Jack Reacher 1, the one that gnawed his fingers off. He has an unnatural interest in very young people, i.e. baby Yodas. So I don't know what his special ability is going to be on there. Maybe they've got to gnaw their hands off before they can blast you. So, yeah, maybe him and the new dude, who I don't know what he can do yet. But maybe that kind of content. That would be where I would go with it. With the Mandalorian, and there's mentions of the Empire throughout Mandalorian, that would be... Yeah, and kind of like Cara Dune doesn't like them, does she? So, and she's been introduced, so that would be where I would be looking.
There you go.
And maybe a Spider Maul, but he ain't Empire, so that doesn't matter.
So, Mike basically took Empire Strikes Back as just talking about Empire in general, because half of what you talked about was the Mandalorian.
Yes. Yes, because you confused me. You told me it's not episode 2. I did say at the outset, treat me as if I'm a child and use simple language. Did you? No, you didn't. You carried on with what you were saying, and I don't understand a bloody word of what you said. So, anyway. I just thought I'd add a little bit of colour there.
I mean, they did say back to the point of vehicles and stuff as a possibility in the game at some point.
Oh God!
I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm saying if they're talking content, no, hey, I don't like it.
Fortnite. We've got Fortnite. We've got Warfare, COD, and that. Please,
I know.
God,
the first thing that comes to my mind are the airspeeders in the Hoth battle, right?
Go forth with vehicles. What the hell? You've had 3 years.
Yeah, because then we could finally get that.
Leave vehicles.
We could get that Ewok glider that Finn really wants, right?
I don't want
would like
either.
it.
I want the ships filled out before anything else, because we still haven't even got tanks for Resistance or First Order yet.
Characters going on an unnecessary 10-minute journey in a vehicle just because they've introduced vehicles into the game.
Yeah,
Next chapter. What the hell?
Miss Rollo.
Yeah.
It's just like, where to, me lady?
I really do hope they aren't in any rush to give us that, though, especially if it's a clone of Fleet Arena.
God,
no,
no.
thank you. No, thank you.
No.
Sort your
basically,
game
we
out,
don't
sort
want
your
it.
bugs out, sort ships out before you ever bloody bring in buggies and whatever, scooters and whatnots, yeah?
Basically, we don't want it, so that means we're going to get it, right? That's
Pretty
normally how it
much,
works
yeah.
these
Boy.
days.
Pretty much.
Yeah, they deny us the what we have wanted lately. So yeah,
Mhm.
they're definitely gonna. This is their
We're following
priority.
form. Anything's possible.
Yeah. And let's not get
Well,
into their.
on this fun note, though, I need to get going. This
Okay,
was a
you have
lot of
time for a
fun.
quick question
Lot
and a
of
fun
fun.
question for you, Adastra?
Oh, is there a Durgan question in there?
There is a Durgan question. So we have a serious
Yay.
question first. So the first one, Dr. Feelgood just wants to know, is the Zeta for Haldo a good investment under Galactic Legend Ray?
It was for me. Like I've noticed a good difference. Like it helped, especially when I was doing the events with Ray. Like it, and just in general, it because Holdo is used with Ray a lot. It's worth it. If you don't use Holdo with her, then don't bother. So I put it that way. And if you have like spare Zeta, obviously give Ray her Zeta first. If you already have Ray, you got Zeta her first. But no, the Holdo Zeta, I've been happy with it. It adds to the it's nice. Yeah.
Okay. And then your Durgan fun question is, now that I have Jedi Knight Revan, Grandmaster Yoda, and Jolie Relic, am I closer to being as good as you are?
Nope. You're making good progress, though. You're doing good. Keep it up. You finally reliced your Jolie. You had been asking me about that for months. So good job. You finally got relic Jolie. Keep it going.
And then Bill Butlicker
You'll get there
wanted
someday.
to. Yes. And Bill Butlicker wanted to thank you, Adastra. He said thank you for the Legend Ray Paper Rock Scissors video, and because of you, I beat it in 3 minutes.
Awesome. Yeah, you're very welcome. I was very glad to have helped a lot of people with that. Save a lot of headache and time. And it also works for the Kylo side, which is nice too. So it was very, yeah.
Okay. So you want to pimp your stuff before you head off?
Oh yeah. Find me on YouTube, Jedi Master Adastra, where I have some of the Ray stuff that Finn just mentioned. I have a few videos about the tiers, and then some Jedi stuff, of course. That's my main thing. Otherwise, you can find me on my Jedi server, or you can find me on RSG. Or those are kind of the main places you could find me. So yeah, Jedi questions or anything, hit me up. I'm always happy to help with all things Jedi, or just yeah. So hope everyone has a good day. Stay safe, stay healthy, take good care.
Bye, Adastra. All right. So that is Adastra. She's heading off now. So I think we got most of the questions. I know some of you guys had questions specific to Adastra, so we weren't able to get to them. But she will hopefully be back next week, so you guys can catch her then. All right, we are now heading to, I think, Mike. No, we just asked Mike the question. So we're back up to Heinzie. So Heinzie, question to you from Keyboard the Planet Eater, and she says, should you just use... I know. Keyboard is getting back into the game and she just
Fantastic.
wants to make sure she's catching up again. So
she's a champion.
That she is. She's a Scottish lass too. I can't do the accent. Ranger does the accent when I can't.
I'm not even gonna try. I'm Australian, so it's just gonna be even more.
It's easy. Just say there's a moose loose about this hoose. There you go.
Lassie. That's about it.
All right, so Keyboard's question is, should you just use auto-deploy strategies on GA, or should you try and force your opponent into using their best team early?
Yeah, use their best team early. Yeah, absolutely. Get rid of their best team early and drain it, and then that will give you an advantage, certainly. Absolutely. Every day of the week.
Okay.
Ram Bam's gone bang.
Yes. Did I miss the Heinzie preload?
Oh, geez Louise. Dead set. All right. So Yeah, we had a rough night in GAC last night. We used our man that we all know and love, Mole Pills, 7.4 mil account. We had both Galactic Legend teams, and I whopped them. We got rid of them, which was good, but I made an absolute mess of everything past that point. So I do get reminded from time to time. And Rambam is a proponent of that reminder consistently, as is the majority of other people in chat at the time. But that's just how we roll. It's all good fun, though.
All right. Let's see. Next question for Mike. Question is from Darsion 1972. He says, how critical is it for CG to get this quote-unquote new content for the community for the overall health of the game?
Is that to me?
Oh, yeah, 5. Mike, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go on.
Okay, are you sure? I have a question for you. I need you to focus.
I'm not good with questions, but go on.
Focus to the front of the classroom, Mike. We have a question.
Okay.
So the question is
focused.
From Darsion 1972. Can you repeat that? Darsion 1972.
Darsion 1972.
Yay! You get a sticker. Woo! All right. Question is how critical is it for CG to get this quote unquote new content for the community for the overall health of the game?
For the overall health of the game, I don't think it's okay. Bringing in tunes kind of regenerates interest in the game. So yes, it gives us all. So it gives you anyone that has to have all the new releases 7-star. It gives them purpose immediately there. Chances are that those players are already Galactic Legend up and are ready for the next project. So they're constantly got to have the new. The rest of the community follows on 3 months later when they're finally introduced onto the nodes, and it gives us all nodes to farm. Newer players actually seem to benefit from this because they don't have all the chaff. You know, they're not sitting there with a 7-star cup thinking, why did I do that sort of thing? You know, all of that. So on that aspect, no, I see where it is. It's the constant generation thing. I mean, the frustration is that effectively your gameplay is really limited on this game. I play one other real kind of, it's not even similar to it, I suppose, but I play another mobile game. Anyone that knows me knows that I do enjoy Call of Duty, and I play the Call of Duty mobile app, which is clunky. It's not fantastic, but I can dip in and out of that as and when I want, whenever I want. There's no cost to me going and having a battle and just continuously fighting if I want to do. If I wanted to play 24/7 on it, I could do. And it is frustrating that this game still is so limited on what you can do. I don't know if I'm making that my point clear, but yeah. So in that aspect, the introduction of tunes is kind of like the model that the game's based on, and perpetuating that continues the game. So yes, it is important for the health of the game, in my opinion.
There you go. Next question, Heinzie. Moleliza2 says, got any tips for Ray mirror matches? They kind of blow so far.
Yeah, they blow. They blow. It's nasty. It's ugly. They're not much fun. Obviously, they're designed to go Kylo versus Ray. Let's be honest. I mean, you know, we beat it earlier today quite convincingly in the end, which was great. I've had wins without either Galactic Legend against a Ray, to be honest, as well. So, Yeah, the mirror matches wouldn't be something I would certainly go for immediately. If my Galactic Ray, which I will unlock soon, I haven't yet, but when I unlock that, it will basically be going on defense, to be honest, and then trying to work out a best strategy to attack the opponent Ray if it's on that side. I think that's really the best option until I get Kylo up and running after that. Just sucks. It's just no other word for it.
It's a slog of a battle. She's a very defensive character. Just to go in with another defensive is just like smacking your head against a wall. So
it's just like Jedi Knight Revan was those mirror matches ages ago. To take 5 minutes to get through the arena battle to jump up 4 or 5 spots. It was just really, it was a grind, and there's enough grind with this game as it is. I think that certainly wouldn't help.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. Mike, I'll ask you this question. It was directed towards Adastra because of her deep Jedi-ness. But I know she's gone. So we might give you another question too if you're not sure. But the question from Gav P is, will or could Ki-Adi-Mundi give us a strong enough second Jedi team for light side GOTB?
Yes, would be my immediate response to that. I was actually thinking earlier about Ki-Adi-Mundi, and I know that everyone was going on about the ridiculous speed that he would bring to Jedis once he's in game and 7-star and everything. Obviously, we've got to wait for more and TI to show us the way there. But of course, then it dawned on me that means that the Ki-Adi squad will then offer a Jedi kind of equal to the 2 galactic legends in regards to who goes first. You get back to a speed race then on there. But yes, I do think. I mean, the health. It's all based around health, isn't it? And healthy characters or something. I remember being, everyone espousing theories about Ki-Adi when he was, first introduced, and obviously now we've got the long haul for to get him up to 7-star. But yes. Sorry, that would be my take on it.
Mm-hmm. It's just so sad. Like, he was a character that nobody got and has been completely overshadowed by Galactic Legends before people even got a chance to get him. So it's kind of disappointing for Ki-Adi.
And they fixed him before anyone got him too.
Yeah.
But now I'm looking at it that it's catch up then, isn't it? And he'll be introduced when, I mean, the thing now, of course, is that until we go arenas being locked out, GAC is locked out for so many players. The power creep isn't exactly a creep anymore, is it? It's a gigantic lurch or jump forwards.
Yeah.
The haves and have-nots, and that isn't healthy for the game.
Yeah. I think a lot of the issue with that, though, I think stems really with which really hasn't been addressed at all in any way, shape, or form is the adjustment to the matchups. I think that really is something that needs to be addressed really quickly. If people have got Ki-Adi-Mundi, they should be being close to being matched up in the same sort of groupings as it. We did a territory war where we did one, and we had one group with like 15 Galactic Rays in it, and the other one with 2. Like the variables are just ridiculous, and I think that the matchups really, with regard to the algorithm, I think that they address that, which I don't think they have, would certainly nullify that a little bit anyway.
Yeah, you're so right there.
Okay. Next question for Heinze. Says, I'll have Galactic Legend Ray. This is Darth Scion 1972, and his question
Legend
is...
Scion.
I'll have
Scion for 200.
There's a lot of Darth Scion 1972. Okay, it's his last question. So, he says, I'll have Galactic Legend Ray in 2 days. Is it worth it to start on Galactic Legend Kylo? Anyone think these characters will be needed for some ultimate epic confrontation event?
I don't think it'll be for an ultimate epic. I just think that you're going to require them anyway at some point in some way, shape, or form, whether it's some sort of a minimum requirement or whether it just is a common sense strategic roster approach. It'll be one or the other. I don't think there'll be something that you're going to need this guy to participate in it. I think that it will make your guild performance specifically, as well as your personal roster, better if you have them both. Light side Geo, we know that it's, GOTB, we know that, Ray's doing really, really well in that, and getting a lot more territory points for guilds when she's in that. Obviously, Kylo's the same. Quite often we're a team short, so to speak, when you're doing the dark side ones. So throwing that in there, it'll certainly probably help your guild a little bit more, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. But I don't think there'll be a minimum requirement for an event down the track, because I just can't see what else you would put it with. The only thing I could think of is obviously if we do get a Rise of Skywalker pelt. That's really the only other reason I could think of, but I think that's pretty far-fetched at this point.
Rule of thumb normally is, though, that you will need any new character somewhere along the way in the future.
Correct.
Yeah.
Minimum requirements are not going away in a hurry. Whatever that is, we don't know, but yeah, there'll certainly be a lot more of there'll be a lot more of a lean towards a minimum requirement to participate in events. I think that's clear.
5-star for ships, 7-star for tunes.
Yeah, see, that annoyed me.
9-star for vehicles. Vehicles.
Yeah. I went out and whaled on a 7-star Radis, and you only needed it at 4-star. I was pretty dirty about that, to be honest. but that's just me, I guess.
Okay. Let's see how many more questions we can get through here. Because I stopped when I said that the bot was going to stop, but we'll see how many more we can get through. So, Mike.
Keep them coming.
Yeah, I know, but we're running out of time. We have 15 minutes left.
Oh, we on a clock.
Yeah, it's a 2-hour stream, so we try to get everything in as we can in the 2 hours. Otherwise, we'd be here forever.
You don't want to cross the streams, man. That's not pretty. It's pretty messy.
All right. Bill Butlicker question, again, it just ends up that Bill Butlicker's asking questions from Mike Hunt. It just... All right.
Can I just say that is the best name I've heard so far today?
Yes.
Let's be clear. That's a cracker.
Yeah. All right. So, Mike, the question is, why the hell can't we sim heroic AAT? The rewards are trash, and it's just ridiculous. What are your thoughts?
Soon TM would be my response there. We will get to that. I'm sorry, but I've been waiting for a year to complete my Jedi Master Challenge. And the final thing I have to do is post first in that Poxy AAT. And so many times I've got to the end, I'm number 1. And then when I go back in like 40 minutes time, I'm number 16. And it's just like, okay, whatever. This one ain't happening.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to make my own guild, I think, and just sod off and just bank up the credits and go and solo it to get this reward. But yes, I agree. It's quite frustrating though, because of course you get the OCD. I mean, I requested, and I still, unfortunately, circumstances prevented me from doing it. But there's a challenge about the pit and the door panel, and you got to blast the door panel so many times, and for one of the challenges. And of course, everyone sims it now. So how do you achieve that challenge?
I suppose you could go in. Yeah.
But well, you need guild consensus to do that, because most of the people are like,
Yeah, you'd need to engineer it by your leaders, basically saying, guys, log a 0 and don't do anything else, please. And you going in and soloing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at least newer guilds, the ones that haven't, right? They have to do it, like 50 times, I think, before they can actually sim it. So there is some people that are still going to be able to complete it. But yeah, if you're a newer person joining a veteran guild, then yeah, you're not going to be able to get it. So
yeah, don't even bother worrying about that. You're going to get better rewards.
Yeah.
I'm just looking in chat to NR Wilson. I didn't even know that there were guilds that are trying to beat the tank.
Mm-hmm. It's all newer guilds.
Why don't I merc? Oh wow.
We end up in our own little bubble. We've been playing.
Just to point out, I think I've merked once in my entire gaming career here.
I merc all the time.
I just, yeah, I can't be asked. I'm just such a lazy player in regards to that. I'd rather farm new mods than change my mods around. You know,
that's your decision. I mean, at the end of the day,
of course it is. Yeah, but
some people like raids, some just detest them because they're just a pain in the ass. I mean, at the end of the day, it's one of those things where you do both. But we have a system in place where we have basically a server set up where we have 5 or 6 different guilds that are quite small, not training guilds, but they're on the lower GP level that struggle to complete it on their own. Oh, holy shamoly. Look out. Oh, okay. Now, hang on. This was not part of the deal, Finn. We talked about this. Man, the deal was I was going to come on here if Grande didn't drop in. Dead set, man. We talked about this, and you let me down, brother. Oh, my goodness.
I think I can mute him.
No, don't mute him. Boot him.
Oh, boot him? Okay, hold on.
How are you, Grande champion? How are you, man?
What's up, man? How's it going?
Mwah. Love you, brother.
You're looking good.
Thank you. Brother. Not as good as you. Have a look at that beard, man. That is just, man. That's like the 9th wonder of the world. That thing. Have a look at that. Magnificent. I don't even have that much hair on my back, bro. Like, seriously.
And on that note, let's get to the next question here.
I'm really glad you don't have that much hair on your back, bro.
Grande, question to you. We'll give you the question from Mike. So Mike Hunt has a question, who's on the call as well. But Mike's question is, will Gar Saxon and Super Pooper get rework post-Mando in-game?
Will they get will Gar Saxon get a rework?
And the Imperial Super Commando. Yep.
Gar Saxon should get a rework for other reasons. But we need like a second Gar Saxon at this point. At this point, with 4 Mandalorians in the game, 5 Mandalorians in the game if you count Canderous Ordo, right?
Yep.
We should have a Mandalorian faction.
Yeah.
I mean, if there are 5 in the game, that makes a team, right? I mean, we have Tuskens in the game, and we only have 3 of them. We have 5 Mandalorians. We should have a Mandalorian faction. So, I mean, if it was me, and now we have a series called The Mandalorian, which means, and they play a big part in the 7th season. No spoiler alerts, but there are a lot of Mandalorians in the 7th season of Clone Wars. So there should be a Mandalorian faction.
But there's no synergy with it.
Doesn't matter.
There should be synergy. They should stick Mandalorian tag on them, and everything where it says, if they have a leader ability that says, bounty hunters, just have it say bounty hunters and Mandalorians.
Yeah, they had bounty hunters. We should
absolutely
the payout system later.
Elliot said we should have a Wookiee faction. I totally agree. We should have a Wookiee faction.
But they've said before they don't want to make factions just for the sake of making factions, right? They want to stop that. So that's why they don't want to make a faction just for the sake of doing it, because there's nothing behind
Tuskens?
It. Yeah, Tuskens is actually the example where they have a faction and there's really nothing with Tuskens.
Dude, we have Jawas have a faction,
but they have a synergy. Jawas actually have a synergy as a team. In fact, Jawa Scavenger does stuff specific for Jawas. Mandalorians, there's nothing in game right now that says Mandalorian
as well.
I'm okay. So then don't make it just because. Make it because it's the right thing to do.
But why? I guess I'm not understanding why it's the right thing to do to have a Mandalorian tag when none of the characters have any Mandalorian-based abilities.
Because they made a series called The Mandalorian. That's why you should make a Mandalorian tag.
But The Mandalorian is really just based on the one single person. After this season, we may not even see other Mandos. He is the Mandalorian. It's not like they're talking about the Mandalorian as everything. They're referring to Din Djarin as the Mandalorian, not the Mandalorian faction. So they gave us the Mandalorian. I don't see.
If you don't want me to answer the question, then don't ask me a question.
I want you to answer the question. Then I like arguing with you. You know how this works. Grande, we've been doing this for 4 years now. Come on.
Each episode dips into Mandalorian mythology or whatever, though, doesn't it? I mean, they do he does discuss, and there's the whole thing about but they ripped it off of Judge Dredd. He never takes his hat off. They ripped that off of Judge Dredd 2000 AD. But anyway, there's that as well. But he dips in and out and espouses Mando stuff.
Yeah.
This is the crazy thing. They can make a synergy one way or another. They've done it before, post-release. It can be done.
Get you one way or another. We're gonna get you.
See,
that's another instance. So one way or another, we're gonna.
I thought that was Grande's. I thought that was Grande's dating video.
See, this is like the Rorschach test, where you can just insert it, and you just in that song you say you're gonna, and then you can kind of think about what they're gonna do to you. See, that's the benefit of the bleeps. Yeah, exactly.
I don't have one of those buttons.
You're missing out. Yep.
Yeah.
If I cuss, it just falls out like normal, just blah.
Yeah, Grande, I said earlier I don't have the fucking button either.
Boom! There we go.
See, he doesn't warn us, so we can't. Yeah, we can't bleep him. So
beep.
Yeah, it's just.
Oh, funny.
Yeah, it's sweary father.
Oh,
all right.
I actually went into Sweary's room because I was gonna say, right, let's test this beep. Yeah, let's test your reactions, but unfortunately it's daylight, so she's asleep.
Okay, next question.
Okay, so this will be the last. You joined in like the last 10 minutes, Grande. I hope you realize, but we'll give the question to everybody. We'll go around the corn. This is a question from Solar Warden, and again, sorry to all you guys. We try to keep this around 2 hours. So for all of you guys that got early, we tried to get all the questions in, but we are going to start wrapping it up here, and then we'll have a few fun questions, and then let everyone pimp their stuff. I know. Wait, you're coming on my stream in order to boo me?
Dude, keep your private life out of this, all right? I don't know what goes on there, man. Just, come on.
All right. So we'll start with you, Heinzie. Question from Solar Warden. What do you use to beat bugs other than Treya and bounty hunters?
Jawa is the only other option. That's really the only thing that will beat the bugs. You can use Jedi Knight Revan as well.
Revan,
with resistance before.
Revan, gas.
Gas. Yeah. I mean, any of the meta ones.
The meta teams will. I mean, you probably got 4 or 5
teams will rip it apart, certainly.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end of the day, if you're looking for dare you call it an efficient option,
or a save one of your meta teams option.
Correct, or almost if you've got a really, really well protected scavenger, it's almost a win. It's almost a set win. It just makes sense, and that way you can save your better teams for something else that you're certainly going to need down the track.
Can I just give a quick shout out to Ouchie? Could probably beat them too.
Can I give you a quick shout out to Ouchie? She's obviously just popped up in chat here. She's an absolute champion, and yeah, obviously Ouchie reached out and said, any chance I can pop in here? She's a champ, and I'd never say no to anything Ouchie needs. She's an absolute star. Sorry, man. I just want to get that in quickly.
No, we know that. We have wish list because of Ouchie. So.
Oh,
it's hard to say no to Ouchie.
Yeah, but she didn't tell me that Grande was going to be here. All right, I'll talk to you about that later. Jesus.
Hey.
I have altered the deal. Pray I do not alter it.
That's what Mrs. H says. But anyway, that's a whole different story.
All right.
It's an expensive one, but first order, crew lead, Hux, Mr. Red. That takes out Geos. If you're going against a tough Geo squad.
I think, I think Night Sisters would do it too.
Yeah, I think whatever you do, you have to go quick kill on GBA, and it just depends on how well suited you are to take him out.
Ouchie, Grande never.
Because if you don't take him out, then they're gonna dispel any stuns that you put on Brute, and then he's gonna get the taunt up. You're gonna get stuck behind it. So speed on killing GBA and getting the taunt off of Brute. As long as you have something that can do that quickly, then that's what you have to do. So
and getting rid of all those assists as well.
Yeah,
that's the trick. Get rid of GBA, the assists die off, and all of a sudden they're fair game.
Yep.
So I'm still running York Hunt, my alt, and he's 4.2 million.
That's the name.
I know. It's childish, but I can't help it. Sorry, it's funny.
And I run so it's a Treya lead. So Treya's gear 12, Scion's gear 12, Nihilus is gear 11, I run a 5-star Sith Trooper in spot 5, but in the 4th spot, I slap in a Gear 12 Zeta Dooku. I don't stealth Dooku, and I just go with the opening move of Shock. So you stun the brute, and then you can then dispel all the buffs with the Sile move. Brute's still stunned. Then you can slap the Trai taunt block onto Brute, and then you're kind of away. I mean, the way I run it, as I say, I mean it's a 5-star Gear 7 Sith Trooper. He's there just to take a few hits, but I'll do it with losing Sith Trooper, but the other 4 tend to survive, and that's at 4.2. So that does work. Interesting. Also, this month's rewards.
I think this month's rewards is a sim of the hat raid. That's what I think.
Yeah,
they did that. They did the same thing where they gave out Han shards before they changed to a sim of the the Rancor.
I'm never gonna get that Jedi Master bloody thing.
Yeah, you just need to merc.
Yeah, merc, man.
Yeah. I've learned that today. Thank you. That's yeah.
Oh, geez, Nev's back as well. Okay, this is getting out of control. I'm getting ganged up here. This is bull.
I altered it further.
There's no way I could let an Aussie get in the last word. I saw Mike. I came back. I saw Mike there. I thought it was the perfect opportunity for a couple of Brits to gang up on an Aussie.
With you around there, no one ever's going to get the last word, bro.
They're outnumbered on this stream now. This never happened.
See, now I feel compelled to order drinks. I don't know why.
I think this is probably the first time Mike and I have been on the same stream as each other. So yeah.
They'll probably be warm beer, so whatever.
Get ready for the pain, Heinzie.
It's not quite as bad as the old days with Turbs, Mike, where you're gonna be having to translate for Nev. So that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you can't buy ice in Great Britain, and you can't buy ice in Canada, and you can't buy ice in Australia. So it makes sense. We want beer for all of you.
Can't buy a life in the United States of America.
Oh.
And on that note, let's get to the fun questions, because we just got groans all the way across the board. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the fun questions. So first one is from Zerial ANZGC, and Zerial says, superstar. I'm in Australia, so I'm drunk, and only ever get to listen to Jedi Academy on replay at this time. Is it Finn's fault that I still have to ride a kangaroo to work?
They're called Rubas. Ruba. It's a wonderful little system we have down here. It gets a bit windy, but yeah, and jump up and down. It's a bit crazy, but yeah, it works a treat. Ruba.
I also don't understand, why is he riding a kangaroo to work? Don't kangaroos have the nice little pouches? You should be able to ride like in the kangaroo pouch to go.
No, like full horse saddle, man. I mean, it's like, think of Tonton.
I think it might be. Is it humid in the pouch? I wonder.
Oh, man, I don't want to know what's in your pouch. Let's be honest, man.
We're getting personal here, talking about people's inside pouches. I'm just saying.
There are no kangaroos in the United States. I have no idea what the pouch is like.
Even if there were kangaroos inside of the United States, I'm pretty sure you would still have no idea what's inside the pouch.
Well, let's hope not.
Usually petting zoos don't include having to pet inside of a kangaroo pouch.
Stay away now. What's in the pouch?
All right, next question.
Okay.
Epic Fails says, since Grande shouted me out on Wednesday night's stream, do I get royalties? A free review on the show? I don't think you messed up his name, so no.
I have to mess up your name.
Yeah. If Grande messes up your name, you get the roster review. That's correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a first.
Who do you mean if?
No, I know. He's actually been doing fairly well lately. Surprisingly, Grande has been doing fairly well. Yeah, it's true.
There's rookie numbers. You got to get those numbers up, Grande. Come on, man. You got to drop a few, bro.
I gotta try.
All right, around the corn here from Keyboard. If you could get a creature from Star Wars as a pet, what would it be? Start with Heinzie.
Easy. Who wouldn't want a Rancor, man?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you could tame it, yeah.
I mean, it's either Rancor or Wampa.
How big a bag are you gonna have to carry walking behind that Rancor?
Well, Australia's a big country, man. You can ride the damn thing.
But it's a big beeping bag, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a big country.
You don't have to keep it in the city where you'd have to have a bag. You could keep it in the country, and then it could.
No, wrinkle car parks.
What's the creature that Jabba tosses everyone into?
Oh, the Sarlacc?
Yeah, wrinkle.
You're talking about the Sarlacc?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Sarlacc.
I want a
Sarlacc.
Sarlacc. I mean, talk about your ultimate garbage disposal.
Yeah,
As a pet. That's fantastic. Yeah. No, give me a Sarlacc. Yeah.
Oh my
Anyone
God.
comes around I don't like, hey, come and have a look at this. Oh. Right.
I'm like mixing so many things in my head right now because I'm just picturing this giant pit with the Sarlacc in there, and then Mike just standing there, like from 300, getting ready to kick somebody. This is Mike Hunt. It's like, oh God, no! I think those could be your last words.
Don't say that. Don't say that. This is Mike Hunt.
I know. Last
Anytime
words
you
you
say the word
hear
Sarlacc,
as you
See,
fall
I'd want
into
something
the
like-
Imagine.
it gives
I
you
mean,
an extra bit of panache. Whenever they say
it
Sarlacc
sucks.
is-
It sucks everything into it.
Oh God, this is.
So I'm
this-
thinking, Family Guy are missing out here, aren't they? You should have a Quagmire episode where he's kind of so tempted to test the Sarlacc that he's aware of what he might lose if he does.
Oh my God.
Boba Fett survived. We'll be fine.
Nev, what would be
But
your
it
pet?
sucks.
I want something more low maintenance. I'd want a crumb.
Okay. Yep.
What, so you can roast it? Rotisserie?
Grande,
Sounds
what would
delicious.
yours be?
A Wampa.
Wampa. And I don't know if this counts as a creature, but I would want a Wicket.
Okay.
I think I would go with Wicket.
Seriously,
So you guys like
wouldn't go.
furries?
I'm amazed you didn't go Porg there, Finn.
No, because porgs are just like, I mean, there'd be good pets like that, but if I could get a Wicket, oh my God, that would be so much cooler. We would have fun little shenanigans, and we would try to make little boluses out of rocks and rope, and yeah, it would just be so much fun.
Yeah. Plus, pogs taste like chicken, so.
I wouldn't know such things. All right, Bill Puppy Chulo question: does Warrior no longer join Jedi Academy? Well, Warrior has a busy schedule too. And he was
He just
doing
got a
some
new
family
car.
stuff. Yeah, he got a new car, so I know he was doing stuff last week, and yeah, I mean, I'm sure Warrior will join again. He just missed what, two or three? I mean, he's been here super.
I think I missed 52. So
You missed more than that, Grande. All right.
maybe 100, maybe 152. I don't know.
Nathan H. question: excluding Lobot, which character would you least want to encounter in a dark alley late at night?
This four?
Oh, it's got to be Kit Fisto. I mean, the name itself. Come on.
Those dreads and everything would be creepy as hell at night. Not gonna lie.
I'm a Gundy. That's who you don't want to.
Oh God, spikes in the face. Yeah.
I'd say Eighth Koth, because you know he's going to be horny.
I'd
you
say a
asked for this,
Jawa
man.
because you'd probably lose your wallet.
You asked for this.
I didn't ask for it. Nathan
And
H.
your car
said.
keys.
Just.
It's next question. Holy crap.
I'm gonna say IG-86. No, 88. IG-88. I do not want to.
Okay, next.
Lego. Look at Grande just jumping in late into Jedi Academy and then trying to run things. Damn you. Lego Calrissian.
I want to
You
get.
sound surprised, Finn.
Yeah, this is normal.
We've been doing this for 4 years, like I said.
I'm telling you, I know how it goes. So,
All right,
Next.
Lego Calrissian question to Heinzie: who is your favorite Patreon?
Not Lego. No, I'm kidding.
Dang.
No, he's a champion. We've got some incredible Patreons in our channel that I love and adore every single one of them. They are absolutely amazing, and they do a lot of work behind the scenes to make me look good. To be fair, it's not difficult. It's not difficult to look good against me, man. Dead set. But no, the Patreons and Patreons that support any content creator, doesn't matter who it is. honestly, there is no greater appreciation for a creator than the Patreon support. It means the absolute world to everyone. So anyone that is a Patreon, from the bottom of all of our hearts, thank you so much. And guys, if you're not, get on, because it's a pretty damn good ride. We have a lot of extra fun after hours and after these streams are done. I'm telling you, it's really, really great fun.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And Durgan, no, Slave Leia does not count as a pet. Okay, next question from Dr. Feelgood. For Nev and Heinze, who is your most favorite Australian cricketer and why? Why are you only asking them? The hell? Okay, I guess you're only...
It's got to be Shane Warne.
Blech.
Oh, yeah, Warne.
Shane, I mean, as an Englishman, I've got a lot of respect for Shane Warne because he was an incredible cricket player. But so the thing with cricket, especially with the Ashes, is when we beat Australia, we want to beat their best. And when we beat Australia with Shane Warne in it, it was like, yeah, we knew that we'd really, really... If you beat a weak team, it's like, yeah, sure, okay. It was a foregone conclusion. But when you beat the best, and, so yeah, Shane Warne, definitely my favourite. Plus, the guy was incredible at sledging. I mean, him and Flintoff, the sledging that went on between him and Flintoff during the noughties was just phenomenal.
This is all Greek to me.
Heinze,
yeah, that's right.
What about you?
Okay, so obviously Warnie, he actually grew up about 35 minutes away from a house where I am right now in Melbourne. He's a Melbourne boy, not Melbourne, let's be clear. But Warnie is an absolute superstar. He's incredible. I will also add to that another player that, again, I grew up and watched and enjoyed. There was a player by the name of David Boone.
Yeah,
Boone. He was an amazing batsman. He was an amazing fielder. But holds the record, of course, for the amount of beer consumed on a flight from Melbourne to London, 54 cans. So, yeah, he's certainly an idol that we should all look up to.
And that moustache.
Certainly a champion.
All right. Mike, do you want to jump in?
I'm not very good. I was trying to think of some of the captains of Australia. Because Australia has had some really good captains.
Yeah.
I'm much more of a bowler person myself. So Brett Lee was
I'm
my
old
favorite.
school. Unfortunately, I mean, I most of my cricket that I watched featured like Jeffrey Boycott and people like that because I'm ancient. And you're all like, who the hell's that?
He was great.
Jeffrey Boycott, bygone era. Ricky Ponting, he was excellent. He was captain.
He was great, but yeah. I mean, England kept getting him out intentionally because we wanted to score runs. so there was that about him. But just some of the old captains. But yeah.
And mine is Brett Lee for sure. Just one of my favorite bowlers of all time. Although I have to favor India, so I don't really like Australia in general. But what's the way it works. It's just not pleasant.
He's massive in India.
I know he is.
Yeah,
I know, but you can guess who my favorite was. I mean, it's going to be Tendulkar. This is just the way it has to be. Like I don't have a choice. Sachin is the only one. Like I have no choice in the matter. Because he was awesome. So, but
he was amazing. Very good batsman. I like that he had to drive his Ferrari at 2 a.m. because that was the only time the streets were clear. Mm-hmm. I did like that.
All right, last question here. I think we got an answer, but Rico's asking you too, Heinze. Have you had any good preloads lately?
I had. Firstly, there's no such thing as a good preload. Let's be clear, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of the day, rough night last night. We had a lot of fun though. Sometimes we all know, guys, things just don't go your way when you play this game. The beauty of it is most of the time when it doesn't go your way, people aren't watching you do it. So at the end of the day, when you do go live and you're throwing it out there, things go pear-shaped pretty quickly. And unfortunately, one of those nights happened again last night. So there's really only one way to get by, and that's pick yourself back up. We go again obviously very, very soon. We got one more round left of this tournament, and we're going to hit the ground running and go hard at it. So that's really all we can do.
Okay. And that is the last of our questions for Jedi Academy for today. So we're going to end here by letting all of our awesome guests go ahead and pimp all their stuff. So let's start with Heinze. Heinze, go ahead and pimp your channel.
Oh, guys, absolutely. Thank you so much. Look, forgetting all that, I've had an absolute ball. This has been great. At the end of the day, we have a lot of fun in this game. The communities are insane. Obviously we started a YouTube channel about 7 months ago, I think it was. And it's just gone from strength to strength, which is great. We obviously do a lot of GAC stuff. We do it obviously a lot of the Australian friendly time zone during the week, but we've started doing US friendly time zones on Friday and Saturday evenings for our US friends. So we're sort of breaking it up a bit. But we've also just introduced, because we're just hitting Twitch hard as well at the moment. So we're actually doing some after party action on Twitch these days after our GAC streams during the week, and we've got Patreons coming on, picking songs, and all sorts of crazy shenanigans happen, and it's pretty wild stuff. So guys, come and join us. It's the more people, the better. It really is amazing. We get amazing guests on GAC. It's known as Harpoons and Beer. We obviously go after the whales, and it's a lot of fun. It really is. But come and join us. It's in the morning for our US during the week. So if you can imagine like the GMA or GAC, that's pretty well what we are. So tune in the mornings when there's a GAC round on, and generally you'll see my ugly mug up on your screen, and come and say hello. We'll give you a shout out and have some fun.
All right. That was Heinzie. And for those of you guys that are watching in the stream right now, you may have to refresh, but I added the link for Heinzie's channel in there. So make sure you do go there and sub to Heinzie. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're a staff. Thank you, brother.
Mm-hmm. Of course. Now we'll head over to the Escape Podcast. Sorry, I'm not... Escape Podcast. Nev, go ahead and pimp your stuff.
Yes, so obviously he's just said it. Finn's just said it. Part of the Escape Podcast, we do lots and lots of bits and pieces. We've obviously still pushing towards 1,000, which would be nice. Weekly show that we do live now on Twitch. It's still available on YouTube, but we do it live on Twitch now on Fridays, and we're coming to the end of our Talking Clones as well, and little something special on May the 4th for all Patreons. They'll get to watch us. We're doing a watch party on May the 4th of the final episode of the Clone Wars. So that'll be on our channel, and then we'll hop on over to Going Nerdy's channel to do the actual review. So there will be tears. So if you want to see me cry like a baby, become a Patreon of the Escape Podcast and watch me bawl my eyes out, because I'm expecting tears. I really, really am expecting tears. And follow us on Twitch as well.
So they would be free to play tears, Nev?
I mean, if it was something to do with a game, it would be free to play tears, but I'm just expecting something really, really, really sad to happen in episode 12.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. And then Mike?
I still have my YouTube channel. I've got to be honest, I haven't put any content on there in an absolute yonks. Fantastic English, wasn't it? I've got the Galactic Legends. I did record. I'm toying with including all the absolute monster cock-ups that I did against Arnold Seppies that cost me, that would have made it a lot closer. I'm aware that he played around with what he used against what I set. So had that been closer, then I'm sure he still would have won on a points thing. But I've got all of that. I'm going to see if I can put it all together and throw out, and at least then anyone that wanted to know the end result can see it. I'm doing stuff with the Galactic Legends. Yeah. I'll see if I can get something. At the moment, there's nothing new on my content. But if you want to go retro and look at old stuff, I've got thousands of videos on my channel. If you really do want to watch some stuff, new stuff says whether it's tagged, whether I'm speaking or not, because there was a period when I just uploaded without voiceovers, and all the very early stuff was all basically live, recorded live. So you get wonderful things like Sweary Daughter gaining her name and so on within all my various videos. So yeah, there's stuff there if you wanna go retro, and I'll see if I can get something new up. But I wanted to just pop in and say hi. It's been a long time since I've been able to participate in any streams. Jedi Academy is always close to my heart. I remember Smithy talking about creating it. I mean,
it's the Smithy day.
And yeah,
I like that guy.
Yeah. great guy. But I remember and Skewer's taking over and keeping it running and growing it as well. Fantastic job. And yeah. And every now and again I have to pop in and just give my support and say hi to a fantastic community. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
So Grande, I'm gonna ask you to pimp RSG stuff, but before we do that, if you guys missed it earlier, Mike has told a little bit earlier why he hasn't been around in the stream or anything anymore. So I want all of you guys in chat to do me a favor right now. He is here because he loves the community, and the community of Star Wars Galaxy is awesome. So everyone in chat, go ahead and type MH in chat to show Mike Hunt your love for him being here. He kind of talked about what he's going through, so if you guys want to go back and listen to it, then you guys can have an understanding. But MH in chat for Mike Hunt. Get those in chat while Grande go ahead and pimps the RSG stuff.
So, RSG, we're you can find us right here. Make sure you like and subscribe this video. Make sure you've got the notifications turned on so you can tell whenever we go live. Also, make sure that you've joined our Discord. It's down in the description of this video. Also, make sure that you are subscribed on Twitch as well, and that you also follow us on Twitter. Those are all places that you should really take a look at us. And we stream almost every day except Sundays. We don't normally stream on Sundays. I think we have a couple streams on Sundays too. So anyway, just subscribe, and then that way you always get the notifications on when we come up. And make sure you're plugged in on all of our social media channels. And I guess that's it.
All right, and the love is flowing in chat for you, Mike. The MHs are.
Can I just say thank you? I'm leaking. It's happy leaking, but I'm leaking.
Aww.
Well, we're always glad to have you on, Mike, and you know that you're always welcome here. You're a friend to all of us at this point. We've been through a lot just through this game for years, and if anything ever happens, you can always reach out to us, good, bad, whatever's going on. And your family has even been a part of the show, so it means a lot that you were able to drop by. And on that, we will go ahead and end this stream. Thank you again, guys, for joining us for another Jedi Academy, and we will see you next week once again, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Take care, guys.